So another one of the Deion effects, if you would, which is the biggest today, is these former NFL players getting hired as head coaches at these HBCUs.
Mhm.
Deion was one of the first because it's Deion, it's prime time.
Right.
So that was one of the first ones that really hit the spotlight. You
Yeah.
also got Eddie George, who's over at Tennessee State.
I like
And then
that.
most recently, shout out to that boy Vick, Michael Vick, Norfolk
Norfolk
State,
State,
and Desean
Jackson.
Jackson at Delaware
I
State.
love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, yeah. So what's your thoughts? First off, what's your thoughts on just the overall just it happening in general with these former black NFL players becoming HBCU head coaches?
I kinda honestly love it because it's giving kids, young kids, the perspective of they can relate to the head coach
Yeah.
at 100%. Other than the fact that he was in the NFL, but like just him being a black coach and kids, you know what I'm saying, the things that's going on now, just them be able to really, really, truly be able to pour themselves to a coach
Yeah.
and him be able to relate to them as well. Like,
Right.
not saying that you can't do it with white coaches. Because I don't think anything of bad of white coaches. I
Mhm.
loved all my white coaches.
Yeah.
Um, but I think sometimes they don't always understand
Mhm.
everything that
It's
the
different
black
on
kid.
that personal level.
Yeah, on the personal
Yeah.
level, they don't always understand everything the black kids go through.
Yeah.
Especially when you're chasing a dream or trying to get your family out of situation or just
Mhm.
whatever it may be. Uh, I really just think that sometimes the black head coach helps with like the culture part and just being able to, like I said, relate to the kids. And like once you get that relationship with your head coach, like everything's relatable, the field becomes easier. Like the off, like things on off the field, once y'all closer off the field and everything is more like more connection off the field, I feel like when you get on the field, it just magnifies. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like
How
when it
so?
comes to basically like I feel like when you got a good relationship with your head coach off the field,
Uh-huh.
it translates to the field as in y'all trust each other.
That's what I said, the
You trust
trust.
him
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you trust what he's calling, and then vice
Mhm.
versa. He trusts you to make the plays and stuff like that. So I think shoot, Norfolk State probably gonna get better. Delaware State gonna get better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's another thing as far as the program because you're gonna have like, it's just like what happened with Deion at, Jackson State. You're gonna
Yeah.
have kids that transfer just to learn from underneath this
You feel
person.
me?
Like, QBs especially are banging at the door of Norfolk State to learn
Yeah.
from underneath Michael Vick.
Right.
But just players in general, because Michael Vick's gonna bring a professional staff with him.
Yeah.
But you wanna learn that professional aspect from Michael Vick. If
Yeah.
I'm someone at another school, if I'm coming out of high school, I wanna get that wisdom from
Yeah.
Michael Vick. He's been through the highs and the fucking lows
Yeah.
from college to NFL.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
you can alleviate running into all those situations yourself and just learn it from him because he's gonna put them on the game with a lot
Yeah.
of shit.
That's a fact.
This is a dude that went from no good news to Virginia Tech to
Mhm.
playing in the national championship to being the most electrifying football player, college football player at quarterback,
Yeah.
going number one drafted for the Atlanta Falcons, turning the city of Atlanta all the
Up.
way up
Turned them all
to
the way up.
crashing all the way down after he got locked up for the dogfight to
Uh-huh.
coming back
To
to
Philly.
the Eagles, you know what I'm saying?
Going
Leading them to
crazy.
the playoffs, going off, you know what I'm saying, to retiring as a legend,
Yeah.
to being a sports analyst from Fox. Like you can soak up all
All
that
that.
game from him.
Yeah.
So
He
even if you're not just a QB, you're gonna want to go to pick that game up. And then Deshaun Jackson over at Dell State, same with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
one of the fastest players ever to play the game and the
Yeah.
most and one of the biggest deep threats in the NFL.
I
So
think
you
he
want to learn
actually
from
has
him.
the highest yards per catch. I think he has the highest yards per catch average ever. I
I
think,
believe it because
yeah.
I think he has the
The last
most.
time I looked, he was number one
Yeah.
because he was in the 20s. I can't remember what it was, like 20 something. But yeah, D-Jack was that man.
Yeah.
D-Jack was that man for sure.
So what's your thoughts on those two actual hires, Mike Vick to Norfolk and D-Jack to Dell State?
Like you said, both of them dudes have been up and down situations.
Yeah.
So I think that them catching them jobs, man, I think they gonna change kids' lives outside of
Mhm.
football. Like you said, just being able to talk to them and being able to get insight on what you shouldn't do first,
Right.
and then then on the back end getting all the good stuff that they did do, like
Exactly.
getting to the NFL, how they got there, what they did to stay so long.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying, playing football professionally for over years, it's different things you got to do. It's not the same as college.
Yeah.
Like the main point as you get older is just to make sure you don't decline. So
Seriously.
you just got to learn, like, and I think that starts with just learning your body first, but learning everything that goes along with it, like being able to eat right and, make sure you get sleep.
Yeah.
Got to get sleep. Like, I
Yeah,
know when I
rest.
was younger, I didn't care about sleep because I'm young.
Right.
I didn't care about stretching.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care about nothing. So, like, once you really learn the effects of all that stuff, you start to realize how you'll stay ready like every year.
Because everyone's good. So it's the small things that's
Yeah.
going to become the separating factors. Like you said, stretching, sleeping, all that good old stuff.
Right. And
Yeah.
I'm 31. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm at this point, I don't lift heavy and nothing
Mhm.
like no more. I lift to not decline.
Right.
So I feel
Yeah.
like I caught my peak and I just don't want to decline.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how
It's about staying sharp. Yeah, I love both hires, especially the Vick one. I got so much love for the 757. I always say my favorite region of women on the East Coast, 757 is top 2 for me.
Yeah, 7 got some tough ones.
Like
But,
I've had great experiences,
yeah.
great times. I've never had a bad time with a 757 chick. I always say that. Like I really love 757. So, and then not only that, like I just really got mad love for the 757 in general.
Yeah.
I got family from VA. So I actually got some out there in the Hampton area. But yeah, and it just makes sense. I mean, he's from the area. Like it just makes so much sense. I'm not gonna lie, the D Jax one was random as hell.
That was random. I don't know how that came about. But like I said, I love it, bro.
Yeah,
He's gonna
facts.
get young, short, small receivers who probably
Yeah.
didn't think they had a chance to go there and then soak up everything they get from him and just
That's a
hopefully
good
they
point.
get their chance.
Yeah, because Dell State kind of been on a decline for as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
So if he goes there and turns them up,
Yeah.
that's going to be huge.
I don't ever remember them being like crazy good. As long as I was in college, can't remember them like even going to the MEAC championship.
Yeah, me neither.
But they always had good players. Like shout out my boy Milton Williams. He had went to the league from Dell State, and they had a couple other good dudes.
Milton Williams on the Eagles?
No. He's not in the league right now.
Okay.
He's actually in the AFL too.
Okay,
Played
got
AFL
you.
last year.
Got you.
But he ended up going to the Raiders out of there.
Mm.
And so, but they've always had good players, but I just can't remember them being like a powerhouse at any time.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, while I was in college.
Yeah, but
So,
they'll definitely turn up because, like I said, people gonna go there just saw the strength of D-Jax, and they actually play each other, Mike Vick and D-Jax. That game gonna be insane.
insane. And where's it
Yeah.
at? Is it Norfolk or is it in Delaware?
I don't know.
Either way, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
joint
either
gonna be
way.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also that, like the culture of the school, like that's gonna enhance that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
After they play, both schools' coaches are going to skyrocket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're definitely gonna put that game on ESPN.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a lot of good that comes with it. So I actually want to get first off, let me get your take on this. So there has been some pushback on the hires from people saying that they got hired over some other more qualified candidates. What's your take on that?
I think that everything's a business.
Mm.
That's the only thing I can really say about that. That happens a lot. That's just part of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it might be a job that anybody might feel overqualified for, and somebody that you might feel underqualified for gets the job. That's just everything's in the eye of the beholder. So I feel like that. I mean, it's the same thing with sports too. Like,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
a lot of guys I feel like shouldn't have been in the NFL playing receiver. And I should have, but I don't ever hate on nobody. That's just like I said, is whatever the coaches like, that's what they like. And the same thing with them jobs. Like whatever those schools probably feel like those two guys were the best to change the situation of the school.
Yeah.
Even if the other coaches might have had more wins and just, you know what I'm saying, more
Yeah.
experience. You gotta just go whatever they thought was best.
It's
So,
good to have just a dash of luck, but more important than that is who you know.
yeah.
Like life is about relationships, man.
Definitely.
Like
And
100%.
those two know everybody.
Yeah.
So
Right. And then not only that, like, I'm pretty sure what they like for them they both won
yeah.
at the NFL level.
Yeah, facts.
So I'm pretty sure you can take that and kind of transform that into a coaching style or some type of strategic methods to bringing as a head coach for a school. Like, it's
Yeah.
just not, oh, like, okay, I'm a head coach. I know nothing about football from a head coaching standpoint. Nah,
Yeah.
they played under Andy Reid.
Yeah, facts.
And they won under Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me they're not going to get game from Andy Reid? Like, they're not going to talk to Andy Reid every
Yeah,
week?
no,
Like,
they
coach.
probably already have.
Yeah. Oh,
honestly.
yeah. They're getting that game from Andy Reid, Jimmy Johnson, who's on the Fox team. He's getting Mike Vick ready. Like, they're going to bring in, you know,
Yeah. And they probably bring in some good coaches that were NFL players.
Yeah.
I feel like they will. Maybe
Yeah.
not the whole staff, but
Yeah.
they're going to get a little handful of that.
Yeah.